John Boehner is the new big man on campus with Republicans. What do you think of his spending cut ideas?
I think soon-to-be Speaker Boehner has made some excellent moves, and they're very encouraging. His proposal to separate the big appropriation bills into individual bills, one per department, seems like a small thing. It isn't. It's a very big thing. It should help reduce the amount of log rolling on votes, and it will allow the American people and Congress to dissect these departments and start looking at how we're actually spending this huge amount of money. And I think it'll make it easier to eliminate whole programs and bureaus inside some of these departments. It is a structural change that Boehner is pushing, major impact, and there are going to be a lot of resistance to this, not just Democrats, but some Republicans as well, and Boehner needs support on this one.
What do you think of Fred Upton's chances of taking a leadership role in the House?
The campaign by Fred Upton to try and win the chairmanship is now lapsed into the absolute absurd. I mean, it's like a Saturday Night Live skit. You know, he every other word out of his mouth is how conservative he is, and all the conservative friends he knows, and all everything that comes out is just belied by a voting record that's just heinous. You know, and you have to start wondering. For example, he's pledging to Republican members that he's going to be strong against the radical moves on so-called climate change. That he's going to be tough, and he's going to be really tough on the EPA. Meanwhile, he sits there as a major member of the Republican Main Street Coalition, a liberal Republican group, where he touts how much he supports the green movement and brags about all the things he's done to enforce the EPA agenda. He has no credibility. He has no credibility with the American people. He has no credibility whatsoever to believe that he is going to rein in this out-of-control agency over at EPA.
All right, thank you very much, Bill. Unemployment is inching to 10% nationally, and Americans are feeling, well, broke. Americans for Limited Government spoke with Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan about this subject, and he says the Obama administration is going about it all the wrong way.
We're scaring and providing this blanket of uncertainty out there that is making it difficult to create jobs and grow our economy. And what we need to do is say, look, no one's taxes are going to go up. We're going to get our fiscal house in order. We're going to cut spending, and we're not going to regulate you to death. We're going to have reasonable regulation, not excessive regulation. You do that, get out of the way. Let the American entrepreneur, let American families, let American small business owners do what they have done for 200 plus years and create jobs and grow our economy.
Jordan does not believe that big government is the solution to the financial problems faced by many Americans.
If big government spending, big government taxation, big government regulation, if that were going to get us out of this economic mess, well, for goodness sake, we'd have been out of it a long time ago. Because that's all the government's been doing for 2 years. This idea that government somehow creates jobs is ridiculous. What government should do, what we can do, is create a framework that's conducive for job creation and a growing economy. Right now, we're doing exactly the opposite.
According to Jordan, there has been job growth during the Great Recession in big government.
Since President Obama has taken office, when you exclude the military, the Postal Service, and the census, which gears up every 10 years, when you exclude those, 141,000 new federal employees in the 21 months now that 22 months that President Obama has been president. So the growth in jobs has only been in the public sector.
Spending statistics coming out of Washington are staggering.
The idea that we're running deficits of over $1 trillion, the idea that we're now at $14 trillion in national debt, I mean, these numbers just boggle people's mind. And so everyone understands we got to get our fiscal house in order. And if we don't, the implications long term are just as severe, just as dire as what we're reading about with the European countries. It's the fact that we have spent so much money, we're running these deficits, that you're seeing the Federal Reserve do things they've never done before. and the fancy term is quantitative easing, but basically it's printing money. So that concerns me greatly.